Every teacher I know is thinking about quitting. They might not actually quit, but they're thinking about it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the Great Resignation in teaching land because there's been 3 waves that I've seen so far. First COVID wave, the beginning of this school year, the 2021-2022 school year, and the third wave, which I predict is going to happen in about a month or so when the new contract renewals come out for teachers to figure out who's coming back for 22-23. I think you're going to see a lot of folks submitting paperwork. Teachers are at the end of the rope, and I think many of them are just going to let go. I am one of them. Although I did it just a little bit ahead of everybody else, of my friend group anyway, who's been talking about it. I was a classroom teacher since 1998, and in 2020, I was just, I don't want to do it anymore. I was done. I'd had enough. That was enough for me. Thank you. I am full up to here. And I actually transitioned out of classroom teaching into a new role. Excuse me. I started last summer. Excuse me. I'm getting choked up. A new role as a college library full-time circulation assistant. And so now I go into the school environment every day, and it is peaceful and it is loving, and I can go pee whenever I want, and people are nice to me. And when I need supplies, I go to the supply cabinet, and it is full of what? You guessed it, supplies to do the job that I need to do. I love it. I leave work at work, and I am so glad I made the switch. I haven't really talked about that happiness that I'm feeling. Like, my husband and I actually just chill out with each other on evenings and weekends, and I'm not, grading and lesson planning and losing my hair from stress. I'm actually having a really nice life-work balance, but I don't want to talk about that with you guys because you're stressed out, and it feels really rude for me to be like, I feel amazing. So sorry for you. I am sorry for you. I want you to have what I have. And so that's what we're talking about today. I took all of the materials that I use to transition out of education into library land, and I made something for you. So hang on, I'm going to switch it over. I've got a giant free loving experience for you. All right, let's get into it. So everything I built for you, I made editable in a Google Drive. So the first thing you need to do is go to this link. There's the shortener here that you can type in, or there should be a clickable link in the video description bar below this video. Either way, they're going to get you to this area here where you're going to be prompted to make a copy of my materials. And when you do, you'll see there's a little mini ebook and also a couple of templates that you can change absolutely everything. I wanted it to be super usable. I'm a starting spot for you to then custom to make it bespoke to exactly what you need. So go there and grab that to start with. When you get there, you're going to see that it is kind of like in a little book format with a disclaimer that I am just a teacher who made the transition. I am not an HR person. I'm not a hiring expert. I have sat on a couple of hiring panels, so I sort of know what folks are looking for on the other side of the screen or the other side of the table, but I'm not an expert. I'm just one of you who walked this path a little bit ahead of you. So keep that in mind. Also, I don't know your money. I don't know your life situation, and I don't want to know your money. I don't want to know your life situation, but you got your business. So you first want to make sure that you understand the economics, the full picture of what you're getting yourselves into. And you all grown up, you know your bills, you know how much you have to pay. But also I found it interesting to check with my State Department's pension department to see what my decision to leave would do to my future pension. And I gotta say, if I were a more veteran teacher than I already am, and I was closing in on that pension, that retirement window, if I was maybe 18 months or 2 years away, I don't think I would have made the same decision. But I know my numbers and I know my situation, and I was looking at another 10 years and I just didn't have it in me. So know your numbers as you go. But when you get into the ebook, you'll see cool stuff. And this page is actually one of my favorites. I call this page the Say This, Not That. And so it's the secret decoder ring of business lingo. So in addition to being a classroom teacher forever, I have also run a small business, and I read business books for fun because that's the kind of super nerd I am. And so I'm really comfortable with this sort of creative writing task of taking what we do as classroom teachers and turning it into the lingo of what business and industry people do. And there's a lot of crossover, more than you would have realized. So for example, I'm going to read this part to you. You don't say that you grade papers when you are creating a resume for something in, say, the healthcare industry. Instead, you might say you assess teams' progress towards goals by analyzing data-driven metrics. And you don't plan field trips, like don't put I coordinate field trips on your resume. No, you, my friend, coordinate logistics and safety protocols for group travel to off-site events and venues. Wow. Okay, so you have an ability to use the language that's going to land with the business folks. And this page is amazing because there's so many lines you can simply just copy and paste onto your resume, maybe tweak it a little bit to really be perfect fit for what you do, and you are good to go. Okay, next up, this page is super cringy. This is actually modeled on my actual old teaching resume, and it is not cute. I actually spun it a little bit. I didn't put my personal details in there because internet, but I made a version of it for fictional Tina. And Tina is a teacher with 10 years experience, and she's done it all the same school, and she's taught primarily English and yearbook, which were my main assignments. And so I have sort of listed out what her old resume would look like. And all the little purple splashes are my sidebar comments about why that probably isn't the best idea if Tina's goal is to leave the public education classroom. So then in the little ebook download, you'll see that I talk about targeting your job listing. You need to know where you're going before you can use this, create the resume that's going to get you there. So in my experience, it's going to be quite a bit of work to land this new job. It's tough. And so you have to sort of get your head right, get yourself down for the journey, because it's going to take a little while. And it is going to take you creating a slightly different version of your resume and cover letter for each job you apply to. This is not a one and done. You cannot expect to like do your resume once and just send it out. You want to make it exactly tailored using keyword specifics to what that specific employer is looking for, and that will make it stand out. Also in the resume, and this here is an example of the one that I would send out. It's more modern, it's fresh, the layout is cool. The layout is actually very easily manipulatable. You can change it. So if you don't like the blue, I like the blue. It's sort of my color. Maybe you want to go orange. You're just an orange person. Or you can change all the doodads to make them purple. So once you get into the Google Slides, you arrange, order, and layers, and you can change everything up that you want. You can even switch out my little doodads for your own. It is all good to go. Okay, so I have the resume template for you to use. And for somebody like me, it would be tighter. I would shrink the font size a little bit, probably to get more experiences in there. But if Tina felt like all I have is one school's experience, you can still make a really nice resume with just that. And then the final thing in the packet is going to be the cover letter. I wrote a sample cover letter also, just to kind of have a feel for how somebody else did it. And when we're teaching classes, having a model for something is really helpful, and I knew that you would want that too. Okay, that is it for this. I'm going to switch it back to myself in the wrap it up land. I just really hope some of these materials are helpful. If you're on the fence about whether to stay or go, and you decide to stay in education, I am still here helping. I'm still going to build curriculum. I'm still going to share good ideas. I love teachers. I still think of myself as a teacher, and that's just not going to end. In fact, my own daughter is pursuing her history teaching degree. You can't get rid of randazos, apparently, and so we're around. But if you've decided to leave, you're going to be okay too. There is a rich life outside of the classroom for you too, and I'm here for you for that as well. All of my contact information, all my socials are on the last page of the ebook, so reach out to me. Let me know how you're doing. Is there a piece that you need that's not in there? I can add it. Just check in. Let me know how you're doing. I'm thinking about you. I'm still here. You guys be well. Love you. Bye.